a bit of background because, mate, you're a former drug addict. You went to jail. You've now
Yeah,
completely turned your life around. You run a successful online business, serving thousands of people, changing lives.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
as I said, it's a fascinating story, and I want to hear all about it. So, mate,
yeah, yeah.
take it away. Like, tell us a bit maybe about you, and I don't know, maybe start with the childhood and how you grew up, and like how you kind of get into all that.
Yeah, you got time, bro? Yeah, sweet. No, yeah. So, bro, I started off young, just like insecure fat kid in school. So picked on in school, bullied, had no friends, had no friend circles. Like I wasn't going to school discos. I wasn't fucking invited to make sleepovers. Like I had none of that connection when I was younger. Like I was alone. And how I dealt with that was just eating food. So I'd go home and eat. Like I wouldn't go to school carnivals, like sports carnivals, swimming carnivals, anything like that was just hell for me because every time I'd go, I'd feel like a failure because I'd always come last. Every time I'd go to swimming carnivals, I was just too insecure to take my shirt off. So I'd always try and find a way out, pretend like I'm sick at home, not wanting to go to school. So from a young age, my relationship with school and everything like that was fucking shit. Like I just hated it because I was made to feel like a failure. Like I just was set up to go in there and feel like shit, like I wasn't enough. So I didn't have friends. Like I'd eat lunch by myself at school. I was just alone as a kid. I was just alone. Like I come from a great family, like everything like that. My mum and dad are amazing. My little brother, like they're my everything. But like in schooling and stuff like that, that wasn't my family. Wasn't my concern. You know, that wasn't. I wanted to have friends. I envied people with friends. I envied everyone like that. Like that was like I seen groups as kids and I'm playing football and touch together on the school oval, and I'm just sitting there by myself in school. So from a young age, I hated school. So that bullied in school, picked on like this from being fat, not picked, like just always being the fat kid, not being enough. So from the young age, I hated fucking school. Okay, so then I went into high school, same thing. Like I was nervous, I was afraid, I was scared because you're going into a big jungle of kids. But see, everyone's got their little groups that they go into high school with, whether it's groups from school, primary school, they go into school together. So everyone's always got one or two friends. So when you're going into high school, you know, it's just like, oh, you got a couple of friends and they you bond with. I just went in and I knew no one, you know, so I was just like, fuck. And I was too insecure to go. I wasn't hanging out with the footy boys. I wasn't, you know, I wasn't accepted in any groups there. But the people who did accept me, when I found out after I was there, I was alone. But the people that did accept me were the outcasts of school. So the kids that were up to no good. Okay. So these kids are like this ones that were just wagging, up to no good, cigarettes, smoking, things like that, not going to class, getting in trouble in class, being the smart ass, saying fuck you to the teacher. Like that was, they're the people who I connected with. And see, from that age, they were my friend group. Okay. So as soon as I didn't have friends before this. So when I found out that I could be mates with people and they would accept me for doing the wrong things, fucking come at me. If they would give me a fucking shot of heroin and say, "I'll have this and we'll be best friends," I would have done it. You know, so from a young age, like in school, and that the way I fit in, the way I made friends was through smoking, drugs, like just rebelling against the system. So this is the circle that I was accepted in. So I'll do anything I could. So I was the baddest kid in school. Like I was the one wagging every day. I was smoking out of the back oval, and then I started smoking cones. Okay, because I started smoking because obviously, and then when I got invited, these friends would invite me to their places on the weekend and we'll drink. And so I'm getting invited to a friend's house. And this is when I'm like 12, 13, you know, like this first into high school. So worst, I was invited to a friend's house. I've never been invited to a friend's house before in my life. Okay, so of course, this is where I'll go and I'll drink, we'll get fucked up, you know, we'll vomit everywhere, then we'll start smoking weed and that sort of shit. And that was fun. Getting fucked up was my happiness because I was connecting with people, I was having fun, and I was laughing. Like it was just every other second of my life before that was fucking depressing. I hated myself. I had no connections, I had no nothing. So when I found these circles and all I had to do was fuck up and do anyone can fuck up. It is easy to fuck up. You just do the opposite of what's right. Okay, and that's it. And that's what I was good at. That's where I excelled at. So I got suspended multiple times from school. Okay, in and out of like school with suspensions, like 15 times from my first school, and then I ended up getting expelled because I was fighting in school. I was smoking. I was getting fucked up. Like this, you name it, I was doing it in school. I was a little shit. Okay, so and that's where I thrived though, because when I started hanging around with these groups of mates that were younger and stuff like that, they were like up to no good and they had older brothers. And, you know, their older brothers were like lads and like this jailbirds, like junkies, crackheads. Like these were my role models. There's people you'd look up on the street now And you look at them, you're like, you're a scum. You know, you look like a fucking junkie. You're a drug addict, you know, with the fucking Nautica shirts, like this, the criminals. And they were my role models. So I was always wanted to be like them. That was who I grew up around. They were my mate's older brothers. So I'll do anything. So that's when I started hanging around them. I started getting into fights and stuff like that. Because I always knew how to fight because I did like martial arts. I always knew how to fight, but I never had the confidence to fight. Okay, so it's different when you're a victim when you're younger. Like I did martial arts all through primary school and stuff like that when I was younger to try and mum and dad obviously got in for me to lose weight, never that, but obviously I was eating shit. But anyway, so I always knew how to fight. So then when I was just like got to the age when I was around all these other people and I'm like, fuck it. And I promised myself then and there, I'm not going to be a victim ever again. Because I was a victim my whole life. I was picked on, I was bullied. So when I started hanging out with these older guys and started having to prove myself, because that's what I thought I had to do was prove myself. You know, I wanted to be accepted and I'll do anything to prove myself. So I'd go above and beyond to destroy my life, was basically destroying my life, my family's life, but this was happiness. You know, I fitted in. So I got to fighting and started fighting. I was good at fighting. Okay, so I knew how to fight and then I just made a name for myself and then obviously got into graffiti, drugs, got bad and then started getting introduced at a young age. Once after school, I got expelled from like 3 schools. So, and this was by the start of year 9. So I was out of school by the start of year 9. Okay, like I didn't finish school. And at the start of year 9, I was expelled from 3 schools. So I had no chance of getting it out of the school. So during the weeks, I'll be hanging out with other mates and then we're smoking at bus stops, stealing from shopping centres. And then over time, like that's when I sort of got introduced to speed at a young age. So ice, meth, speed, same. But back when I was younger, it was speed and not before ice came around. So I was still in amphetamine.
How old were you then?
13. 13 was when I started using heavy drugs. Yeah.
So
I was 13.
Year 9, when you get expelled, what age were you then?
I was about 13. That was about
right,
13,
so that's
14,
13.
yeah.
You've been expelled from 3 schools.
Yeah, and that's when I was already using drugs. So I was already smoking cones, and on the weekends, that's when I'll get on we just started eating speed. So you had to me and Fetty would get on a Friday night because I started off drinking. And then the older brothers, like the circle that I was in, the older brothers would always come out of the rooms and I'll just be off their head. And we're all drunk. The younger ones are just drunk. And they're like, what the fuck's going on? And one of the older brothers took me under his wing. And I was like, for him to be calling me like his little brother. And he always took me, we'd break into houses together. We'd go to we'll go hold up, run through shops and steal all shit, like crim shit when I was younger. And I'd always be his little right-hand man. I'll do whatever he said, because he was my role model. So he brought me in the room one night and he's like, oh, try some of this. And as if I even asked, I was like, yep, done, whatever it is, because I was accepted. And then that's when I tried for my first bit of speed. And then from then on, I wasn't drinking on weekends. Every weekend was me getting on. So I'd get $100. I'll go steal whatever I could just to fucking get a little point of gear. And then I'll just eat that. Then I'll be off my head all weekend. And I started graffitiing when I was younger and stealing a lot. And so I got in that scene. And then I started doing it during the weeks. And then mum and dad at home were like, obviously, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You need to find a job. What are you doing? And I didn't give a fuck about them at that point. You know, I was like, fuck you. I've made friends. What do you know? I'm making friends. I'm living my best life. You know, so I'm out stealing. So I ran away from home when I was about 14, 15 for about 2.5, 3 years. So mum and dad didn't see me for like 3 years. I was out living on the streets, living in crack houses, like this bad places. So, and that's what I was doing. I was just smoking. Then I started smoking ice and then smoking speed. So that's when I got hooked on that. So I was literally smoking ice and speed pretty much every day. So fighting, stealing, painting trains, graffitiing at night, doing a lot of robberies and stuff. So I got in a lot of trouble when I was younger for willful damages, stealings, assaults and stuff when I was younger. So I was in and out of the police station and shit a lot when I was younger. That's the only time I'd see my parents is they'd come pick me up from the watch house after I've been charged with something. And then when you're young like that, you get a slap on the wrist and he's told to just get out. And then you go out, sweet as, and they'd pick me up. And then I'll go back home. Then I'll literally just walk out the front door and say, see you later. And I'll just disappear again. That was the only time I seen my family. So I did that for all the way up till I was about 18. So about from 13 to 18, I was just on this fucking destroying my life. I was just a little crackhead, graffiti, fighting, everything like that. So I was living on the street, in houses, everything like that. It's like these houses I was living in, they're like crack dens. Their mum and dad, we had mates' houses, but their mum and dad were always on the gear. They were like junkies. So we could do whatever we want. We had a room downstairs and we'll just all get on it down there, smoke ice, and we'll go out, steal, break in, and steal just fucking heaps of shit. You know what I mean? That graffiti. And that's what I did that was my whole life. Day in, day out, I lived that life till I was about 18. And then I did start seeing a chick at some point during that. And then it was toxic as, and I've just ended it her because I wasn't going out and graffitiing. I wasn't fighting. I wasn't hanging out with the lads. I just felt like I was disconnecting from everyone when I was with this person. So I felt like I was losing my status. So like, because and then I gained a lot of weight as well. Like that photo of me on my Instagram when that was when I was like 18, fat as fuck. I was off my head, iced out in that photo.
Oh,
Like
really?
I was really, that was my worst spot of my life. I was like one of the worst spots, but that was me using the gear. But that was because I was with her. Like I'll be smoking cones during the week and I'll be eating like shit. Then we'll just go smoke gear in a room all weekend. I wouldn't be out painting. I wouldn't be out doing shit. I wouldn't be out robbing. I wouldn't be out, doing my stuff that I really loved. So I just like lost myself. Well, I felt like I lost myself and I was losing connections with the mates because they would all still be going out doing shit and they'll tell me stories of what they're doing on the weekend. And I'm like, I'm missing out. Like, what the fuck am I doing? So, I just broke it off with her. But then and then one night I was drinking and then found out that she was out with two of my mates, or so mates, my brothers. Okay. And they went nightclub. And this was about when I was 18. And I was at a pub and my mates say, your ex-missus out with these old mate and old mate, and she's hooking up with them, and I'm just like, and I would die for the people that I hung around. Like, they were my brothers. That was my family, because I wasn't seeing my family. So I'll do anything. My loyalty, I've always been a super loyal person. That's my biggest trait is loyalty. Okay. And when I was hanging out, and for these people to stab me in the back, these are people I've fought for. These are people I've stolen for and fed. These are people like I've just would take my shirt off my back for to help them out. And they've done that to me. And that was after years of this abuse. And that's when sort of my world sort of came in and sort of crashed down on me. And I just started crying. I was just emotional, angry. I didn't know what to do. I was just, and something made me go home. And my parents lived up the road. So I was drinking down at Chermside Shopping Centre in Brisbane. And then I just stumbled home drunk as fuck. And I was just like, fuck this. I was so angry. I'm like, these guys fucking stabbed me in the back. I just fucking hate myself. I'm like, back, I'm fat again. I hate because I've gone back because I've lost weight, but then I got fat again. So I'm back being that fat, insecure kid in school. So I'm back to being a fat piece of shit. I'm a fucking feeling like shit, depressed as fuck because I come off the drugs. And after like 5-6 years of smoking ice and everything has fell into me, I can't trust anyone. Everyone stabbed me in the back. Everyone thought my family were my family. And then I ended up going home. But when I got up to mum and dad's house, I couldn't bring myself to go home. I'm like, what am I going to say? Like, I've spat in their face my whole life. I've never made them proud. They probably hate me. You know what I mean? Why, how can I go home? And I was just too embarrassed and ashamed to go home. And I was very drunk at the time. So I had a bright idea. So I went over to the school, which is across the road. And I used to drink up on these rooftops there when I was younger. Okay, so I went up on the rooftop when I was a kid, and that's where I was drunk, and we got drunk, we got up there, and it's just like 3 stories up. So I climbed up there, and I was drinking up there, and I was just like, what's the fucking point? I said, everyone hates me. I got stabbed in the back. I can't trust anyone. Everyone, I've gone above and beyond from all these people. I'm a fat piece of shit again. My family don't want to know me. They did, but I was just too embarrassed and ashamed. So at 18, I tried taking my own life. I jumped off the building when I was 18. I tried taking my own life when I was 18. So, and then I broke my foot and it was obviously concussed, whatever. But then I dragged myself over to mum and dad's across the road because I woke up hours later. So
Mate, you've jumped
woke up.
fucking 3 stories up.
Yeah.
And you fucking jumped off.
Yeah. I tried to take my own life. But I don't really remember much of it, okay, because I was pretty drunk. But that was my only way out. Because why the fuck, what else did I have to live for? I destroyed my family's life. I didn't have anything to be proud of. I hated myself again. I was right back to square one. So in that point, my only way out was taking my own life, was taking a way out. Because I was over. I couldn't deal with it. I was crying. I was just a mess. Everyone stabbed me in the back. I was in the worst spot of my life. So I'm like, fuck this. And then came to and then stumbled back over to mum and dad's, and I just opened the door and told them what happened. And they're just like, what the fuck? And yeah, and that's when I got off everything. And then that's when I told them I want to change my life. I'm sorry I just broken down, everything like this, because I just got to that point and, you know what I mean? It's pretty fucked up. But I said, okay, I want to change and everything like that. And then my dad was working over in Christchurch doing rebuilds for building companies. So he's over there working away, supporting our family in the house we live in, and I'm out there being a piece of shit. So the idea was me going over to New Zealand with my mum and dad, go over there and just with my dad, and go over there and work and just try and change my life. So I went over there, got sober, stopped everything. I was fucking went over there, dropped a lot of weight, started training. Who's one of Dad's mates over there we was working with him was a bodybuilder. He did me up like a meal plan, just told me to do this, a little training program. So I started training every day when I was in New Zealand. I was about
What
121
age are
kilos.
you here?
I'm about 18 then. I'm
All right,
18.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went over there, went over to New Zealand, started working out, training, working for Dad over there, just doing my thing, just sobered up, got my head clear. I was 121 kilos. I got down to about 78. So I lost about 43 kilos when I was over there. So I had a big weight loss. I lost a lot of weight over there. Big fucker, just put the work in, dropped a lot of weight, felt amazing, training every day, started to feel happy again. But then when I was over there, I started getting involved in social media. So I started having a look and seeing what everyone was doing. And then I was seeing, everyone's out drinking, everyone's having fun. I don't want to go back and show everyone how much I've changed. That was my next thing. Like, I'm sober, I'm happy, I'm 6 months clean. You know what? I'm going to go back and show everyone who I am, show everyone, yeah, this is me now, so fuck you. Sort of rub it in their face. Because I was looking good. I had abs. I felt healthy. I was fucking looking mad, like after being some fat fucking drug addict most of my life, I'm like, fuck it. You know what I mean? I'll go back, show everyone. So then I'm like, Dad, I'm leaving. And Dad's just like, no. And I'm like, fuck you. I'll do what I want because no one has ever told me what to do in my whole life. So if you want to keep me in New Zealand, you got to shut the borders, cunt, because I'm fucking going. Okay. So I was just like, I'm going. I'm done. I'm fucking done here. I want to go home. I'm fucking sick of it here. So I flew home, came back, just set myself up, started working as a renderer's labourer, got back, came back, got a job, everything like that. They're doing right. And I'm like, oh, fuck, you might change. Yeah. So working, doing that during the week, rendering labourer. But then on the weekends, I see mates that I'll try to connect with. I'll try to message people, hey, how you doing? And then they're going out in the valley on the weekends. They're going out clubbing and having drinks. And I'm like, oh, that's sweet. Alcohol was never my problem. I was smoking ice. I was fucking a little crackhead. But I was like, oh, alcohol's fine. Alcohol's not fucking ice. It's okay. So go out and I just said to Mum, I'll go and have a couple of drinks with mates and we're going out the valley. Like, I've never been in the valley. I've never been out clubbing. Never experienced that. And I lived in trap houses. I was in crack dens, tweaking out with a bunch of fucking junkies. My normal day when I was back was sitting in a room. I helped strap people up when they were injecting in their neck, everything. I injected people in their neck for them. I was smoking ice. That's my whole life, sitting in a room doing that around people. That was my environment. So if the environment's different to that, I assume it's okay. So I started going out clubbing. So I started drinking at mates, having a few drinks and going and getting fucked up at Valley. I had the best time. I had meeting good people and everyone's out there drinking. Everyone's doing good. Everyone's got jobs. Everyone's on their way. Everyone does it. Everyone's out drinking. It's fine. Drinking's okay, which was my biggest mistake. Because then I started drinking, then obviously pills. Started having a pill out, and I'm just like, oh, pills are okay. Pills not ice. Because ice, speed, that was my problem. That's what got me to the point where I took my own life, tried to take my own life. It wasn't alcohol, pills, that's fine. And then I was out getting pills, and then, my mates were selling pills, whatnot, and stuff like that. And then I was just like, oh, sweet. And I was doing middleman stuff. So people were like, oh, and then I was getting noticed, and people were like, oh, can you get pills? I'm like, yeah. I'll go get 5 off old mate. I'll sell it to them for extra. Then I'll keep 1 for myself. So business, I was an entrepreneur. Okay, I was making my own.
Yeah.
So that's when I started to get involved in selling drugs. And that's when I started, I'll get my own 10-pack. So I took 10 pills out. That was gone in a minute. Once I started to get known, people would come up to me and I'll sell it in 2 minutes. Got a handful of cash. I'm like, fuck, I need to get more next week. So then the next week I'll go back at 100 and started selling them in fucking 20 minutes. I got $5,000 cash. I'm like, what the fuck, sweet. Shots on me, fucking booth, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, I never sold drugs to make money. I started selling drugs to support my weekends and just party with people and fucking buy a booth, dump it in, fucking buy what you want. I'll get it. Don't worry, it's sweet. Because then people like me. I felt like I wanted to be accepted again. And all my mates with the drugs always had people around them. They were always the popular ones. And that's what I wanted. So my old role models, the crackheads and jailbirds, like I wanted to be. Now, I wanted to be like these people that are selling the pills, that have the booze, that have everything like that, have the nice things. That's what I want. So that's when I started selling drugs in nightclubs. And that's when I started selling pills. And then I'll get 1,000, go out, and then started snorting cocaine. And yet again, cocaine's okay because cocaine's not ice. Cocaine's not this. It's fine. I'm working 5 days a week. I'm partying on the weekends. Everyone does it. It's okay. That's how I thought. So then slowly but surely started using cocaine every weekend. Okay, selling cocaine as well. And then I'll be going out, but then I'll be going out Friday, Saturday night. I'd start bendering. It's not just one night out. It's just stay awake the whole weekend. Okay, and then because that's all I did when I was staying awake for 2 nights is easy. When I was back on the ice when I was younger, I'd stay awake for 8 to 10 days at a time, and then my body would shut down. Stay awake for another 8 to 10, body would shut down. Then I'll live my whole life like that. I would never just have a night one night awake, one night asleep. I did not have a normal sleeping pattern when I was younger. Like, and so doing this 2 nights on a weekend, that's easy. You know, I used to do fucking 7, 8. Like, that's fucking sweet. So, and it's okay because it's cocaine. It's Australia. It's all right. Everyone's in a bender. Everyone's kick-ons. You know, everyone's having fun. Everyone's smiling, getting off their head. It's a bit different environment. So I justified it being okay. So then started selling a fair bit of coke, and then next minute, you know, I start using it at home before I even go out. Like a Thursday night, I'll start having a couple of lines, and then I'll be like, yeah, fuck yeah, go to work a bit scattered. But with the amount of money I was making with selling cocaine on the weekends, I'll be making $5,000-6,000 a week. So I'll be like, fucking sweet as, you know, I don't even need to work. So that's when I stopped working. So I gave away my job, and then I'm sitting at home bored. And what do you think you do? Thursday night, start having some lines, and then you get bored. Wednesday night, start having some. Before you know it, I'm snorting cocaine every day. You know, sitting in my room, come down. And then mum and dad were always on me because I was living at home still at this point. I was selling drugs out of my mum and dad's house. You know, I'd meet people at front letterbox. Hey, mate, take this, see ya. Leave cash in the letterbox and wouldn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I just wanted to be known. I wanted to be the guy. And everyone knew me always having the best gear. Everyone always knew how, Darcy's got the best stuff. You know, yeah, he's got the best. I thrived on this. This is where I love. This is acceptance. You know, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm the man.
Like status.
Everyone knows me. It's status, you know?
Yeah.
So then I started obviously snorting cocaine during the week, and mum come down. And then at this point, mum and dad sat me and my brother down, like over this period of time, sat me and my brother down. And that's when mum told me and my brother she's got terminal cancer. She's got cancer. So we're just like, fuck. And how I dealt with that. So she sat us down, and I don't know if they obviously had to tell us, but it was at the point where I was getting pretty bad. And they're like, hopefully this might open his eyes and might change him. Like, that's why we sat down and he said, really need to be, mum and dad said, we need to come closer to family through this and just stick together, and we just fucking really help each other get through this. You know, and they thought that would have been a beam of hope. But how I dealt with everything in my past was to use drugs to numb myself. So I didn't worry about that. All I was worried about when I heard that was go down to my room and fucking snort the biggest line of rack I can. So that's when I got.
Like, is that the first thing that went through your head? You're like,
yeah, fuck yeah. That's the first thing I did was went downstairs. So I had fucking ounces and ounces of cocaine in my home. So I was just like, fuck yeah, boom, this is the biggest one I can. Numb myself and sit there and then just escape. That's all I did, and that's how I dealt with it. Then that's when I got really bad on it. And then I was over mum and dad coming down being like, oh, we need to. You know, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm like, fuck you, I'll do what I want. Like, I completely forgot about my mum's cancer. I forgot, didn't forget, but the last thing I was thinking about. I was worried about getting high, selling drugs, fucking escaping. And then, bright idea, I moved out. So, moved out of home, like, I'm leaving. I went and got a penthouse apartment in Spring Hill in the city. Not a big penthouse, could afford it, sweet as, no worries. You know, my mate put his name on the lease and I was just giving him cash. So I was staying there. And then moved in there, and then that was fucking the worst move I've done. And that's when I started using like every day. And I was like, when I was using every day, like I'm talking like I was snorting like an ounce a week of pure. That's like fucking 10 grand a week I was snorting. And then it was a lot. And then when I'd snort, I'll get real anxious and start getting paranoid. So then I'll start eating.
Is it 28 grams in an ounce?
Yeah.
Every week?
That was like. Yeah, every week, easy. If people came over, I'll tip out even more. Like, that's just by myself during the week. On the weekend, I'd use more. Like, that was just me from the second, I'd just snort coke in my room all day, all night. I wouldn't leave my apartment. I was in there all day and night just snorting cocaine. You're just stuck in your little bubble. Okay, and when I was doing that, I was eating Valiums and Xanax as well. So I was in, just to, level out my anxiety. So I'd have my bottle of Valiums and I'd have my ounce of cocaine and sweet. So I'd have a Valium. And when you do that, you've got to realize you're speedballing. You're fucking... So the amount of times I literally drove myself to the Prince Charles Hospital close to us 20 times because I thought I was overdosing and dying. So they knew my name at the Prince Charles. I would go drive to the hospital because you look up symptoms when you're off your head and you use Google and you go, Dr. Google, what's happened when my heart rate's up? What's happening when you snorted cocaine? The first thing it says is you're going to die. So then your anxiety, Dr. Google's fucked. Okay, so your anxiety goes through the roof and you think you're going to die. You listen to your heart rate palpitating and you're off your head. So I'll jump in my car and I'll drive to the hospital because I thought I was going to die. But see, on my way to the hospital, I'm still snorting cocaine in the car park before I go in. Because I'm like, oh, that can save me. And now I'm going to have my last line now because I don't know how long I'm going to be in there for. Because I've been there a few times and you have to wait in there for a couple of hours. So I knew this. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to snort heaps now. So when I go in there, I'll be sweet. You know, and then go on there. They knew my name and they're like, you're having another panic attack. Calm down. It's fucking calm down. and they'll just sit you down, do whatever they do, and then I'll just leave, and then I'll go back and snort more cocaine again. I've done that multiple times. So, and then over time, I got super anxious. So I pushed away. My close mates, I wasn't answering their calls. If people wanted gear, drugs, I'll just quickly meet it out the letterbox, quickly run back upstairs. I isolated myself because I didn't want to be around everyone.
Now, where are you? What age are you now?
I'm about 20s.
Yeah, fuck.
20, 21. Yeah, 21. Probably 21, 20. Yeah, 20. Yeah, I reckon 21. 21, 22 is when I moved out. And then when I was in there, so I pushed away everyone, like, because I didn't want to be around my friends because they constantly say, "You okay?" Because obviously you think you're sweet, but fucking, you've seen the photos on Instagram, bro. I was fucking busted.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And that's at that point, I thought I was okay because I'm like, I'm sweet. I'm waking up. I can handle it. You know, no one's noticing. I'm right. I'm good. And I was off, but I didn't want to be around everyone. I wasn't going to see my family. Yet again, like, after I found out my mum, I didn't see them for a good year. Okay. My mum's going through a cancer treatment and everything, and I didn't see them because I was in my room snorting cocaine. I was hella gym. I forgot about it. You know, I'm like, this is where I want to be. I want to go fucking, you know, get off my head. So I'll disappear from everyone. Everyone's messaging me, you okay? You okay? People come, my mates are coming to see me. I'm like, bro, I'm fine. I'll start getting angry at them. I'm like, I'm fucking sweet. Stop worrying about me. I'm fucking sweet.
So, bro, you're in this like night. I'm imagining like nice penthouse apartment, like big fucking glass windows. Mate, you just like
it was
shutting the
mad.
blinds, sitting in the darkness.
I did not see the view once. I closed all the blinds just to crack den, bro. That's all it was. And then we would have people come over on the weekends and get on it and shit. And then, because it was like a party house on the weekends, people come to our penthouse, get on it. And then a few of my mates would come over and they're smoking pipes again. Okay, so they're smoking ice. And then I'm like, they ask, oh, can we do this? I'm like, yeah, go in the bathroom, bro. Sweet as, I don't care. Do whatever you want here, come. I don't give a fuck. But then I'm just like, I forgot about my whole thing about I don't do ice. That's the problem. And then I'm like, oh, can I try something? You know, because I was getting too anxious on cocaine. I couldn't snort it. My septum's fucked. I couldn't snort cocaine. I don't have a septum in my nose. My nose is fucked. You know, so every day I'm blowing balls of blood out of my face, like big balls of blood, like golf balls out of my face every morning of blood and stuff. So I couldn't snort cocaine anymore because it was just like it would go up and it would just fall back out. It wouldn't work. My nose wouldn't work. So it's just, and then plus my anxiety, everything. I'm like, fuck it, I'll start smoking. So starting having a few pipes and I felt amazing. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I feel mad. Like, no anxiety. I was having heaps of talks to everyone. I was chatting again. I was off my head. I was the life of the party again. So I'm like, oh, I'm back on it. But I forgot the whole, and next minute I'm back on the pipe again. You know, so I'm selling cocaine, snorting pipe. And in my head, I'm like, oh, ice is cheaper, so I'm going to save money. I'm not going to snort as much cocaine. You know, I'm not getting anxious, so it's okay. You know, everything's right. This is perfect. You know, I thought ice was better than cocaine because I'm not anxious. I'm not paranoid. My nose isn't sore. Like, I was justified it being okay. You know, so, and I was in a bit of trouble at that point because when I was going out when I was younger, I got in a lot of fights when I was in nightclubs. And I did get in trouble for a couple of fights where I hurt someone. And that's, I was out on suspended sentence on that and everything like that. So I was in trouble from that in the past from fighting. But I never really got done with drugs or anything like that. I've never been done for drugs before in my life, before I got raided. So I got raided in that penthouse. A couple of days later, in that photo when I'm standing there fucked out, like with my hands all weird and that's my penthouse in my underwear. That's me. That's like 3 days before I got raided. And then they came through it all, they raided everything, they found everything. I had all my drugs just on my bench, I had everything out, didn't hide anything. Like, I was dumb as fuck. I was off my head. So they found all my drugs, I got done for that. And then they took everything. So I was sitting there, I got arrested, got taken in, but then I got bail. So I got let out and I had to go get my child. Obviously got a court appearance, had to go. And no one wanted to talk to me at that point. So I'm like, fuck everyone, you know what I mean? No one wants to talk to me because once you get done, if you're in that scene of everyone selling drugs and everything like that, no one wants to know you because you're red hot. You've been done by the cops. No one wants to be around you.
Yeah.
Because you'll be like an associate, then they might watch you. And then I just thought everyone, and the same thing, I'll do it. Like, some of my drugs that were in my apartment weren't even mine. I was holding them for mates. Okay, I had like a fucking like about 200-300 grams of MDMA, so like a quarter kilo of MDMA in my house that wasn't even mine. Okay, and I took the rap for that. And see, the guy that I took it for, I'm like, bro, I need some money, bro. I need some help. And he's just like, wouldn't answer my calls, wouldn't answer my texts, wouldn't answer my messages. I'm like, fuck him. And then I got a message through someone else being like, man, he doesn't want to talk to you. You know, you've just been done. You know what I mean? I'm like, I took the rap for his fucking drugs. I'm like, fuck him. I'm like, fucking. Then I got very angry. And then I was seeing red and I had a mate up in Cairns. So I was up in Cairns. And then I drove up to Cairns off my head. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to get out of Brisbane, left my penthouse. I gave my mate cash. I'm like, fuck the apartment, I don't want that. Got in my car, packed all my shit, and drove up the Cairns off my fucking head. And that was a hectic drive, bro. But got up the Cairns because I had a mate up in Cairns that I used to get on it with in Brisbane that moved up there. He's from Cairns. And I was messaging him, told him what's going on. He's like, bro, come up here. I'll help you. We'll get back on track. And obviously he's up there up to no good as well. So went up there, got back on the drugs again.
How long did Cairns take you to drive up to?
Bro, it's like an 18-hour drive, but it took me 3 days. Because I was off my head. I'll drive to one town, I'd stop it, I'll play the pokies for like 4 hours, and then I'll just start wigging out. And I'm like, oh, I can't drive at night time because I'm going to crash. So I'll sleep in a hotel and I'll leave the next day, drive, stopping at towns, play the pokies, drive, stopping at towns. So I was a fucking off my head, and I wouldn't want to drive at night time because it's hectic at night. On a highway, open country, outback roads, big trucks and shit. And I'm not sleeping. I'm off my head. Like, I'm in the apartment. Like, when I'd stay in hotels, I wouldn't sleep. I'll just sit there and smoke ice in the apartment all night, and then I'll leave first thing because it's open. But so it took me about 3 days to get up there. My mate's like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro? It's a 18-hour drive." I'm like, "Bro, I can't, bro. It's fucking 2 hours. Like, fucking, I can't." I was just wigging out. So drove up there, got up there, but then just landed back in the same shit because he was up to no good. So I started collecting money with him, started bedding with him, and I started eating a lot of Xanax, and I started drinking a lot, and started smoking ice again up there. And when you're on Xanax and drinking and then going out, and I got a lot of fights again up there. So I got this one fight up there, really hurt a guy. And then we went back to the apartment, boom, like we were just bendering back in the apartment after. Like, yeah, Mad Dog's fucking sick, you know, like, yeah, whatever. And then the cops kick in the door at the apartment we're at, and they come in and arrest me, like search warrant for Darcy because the assault, the guy pressed charges. So they had me on camera, everything like that. So I was fucked. So they raided me for that. And when they raided, I had all my mates, everyone was there, had all their drugs out. It was like an apartment with just everything was out. So I put my hand up and took the rap for all the drugs that were in that apartment because I was like, oh, this place got raided for me. So I took, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm going to get out. You know, I've got heaps of charges. Just added to the fucking list. You know what? I've always got away with shit. Every time I got done, I just got let out. I got done, let out. Got done, let out. Like I never really got any punishment for it. I got like a suspended sentence. I got like community service. I didn't really get any jail time or anything. I thought I was bulletproof, but this time was like I reoffended on bail. I already had court out there, and then so that's when they got me. They charged me, and then they're just like, "You're going to jail." And I'm like, "Nah, I can't get my lawyer. Fuck you, you dog." Because you just like assuming the coppers are talking shit. They're like, "Oh, if you tell us who this person is," and they'll know, "Fuck you, no comment." You know what I mean? Like little criminal. And then I'm like, "I'm not going to jail. Let me out. Call my lawyer." I thought I'll be out on Monday. Like I was like, "Yeah, sweet." And then next minute they're lining me up to get on the bus. I'm like, "What bus, cunt?" And they're like, "The jail bus. You're going to jail." I'm like, "Fuck off." And then next minute I'm on my way to jail. And I'm like, "Fuck me," you know? So then landed in jail and called my mum on the phone. I haven't spoken to her in fucking year and a half. So called mum and I'm just like, "Hey, I'm in jail." And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm up in Cairns. I'm in jail." She's like, "You're in Cairns?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "All right." I'm like, "I'll talk to you soon." And then just hung up and then just went and got in jail. And that's when I started my jail. And then I did.
So, mate, what was that? What was that feeling like when you're like, actually, like, fuck, I'm going to jail?
Bro, I was scared, bro.
Yeah.
I was scared. Like, I knew how to fight. I knew how to do everything. But when you're going into a jail, like, what do you think in the movies? What do you think jail is? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to get fucked in the ass. Okay. I thought I was going to fucking rape. I thought I was going to get bashed. I thought I was fucking this jail. I was like, oh my God. Like, I didn't know anything about it. You know, like, I thought I was fucked. And like, I was going in there scared because I got locked up in Cairns, which is like an Aboriginal community, bro. So the jail is an Aboriginal jail, bro. It's not like a fucking, this is like, then they run jails, bro. Yep. Trust me, they've got no, when someone's got nothing to lose, they're the most dangerous person in the world, bro. Yeah. Okay. So what do you think? Like, not being racist, but most of the population that are in jail that are Aboriginal or whatever, they got nothing to fucking lose. They don't give a fuck, bro. You know, real talk. That's facts. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So I was going in there and I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm going to get fucked. So I just prepared. I was just like, I'm going to fucking get in here. If something happens, I'm going to fight to the death. Like, I'm going to fuck this. I'm like scared shitless, bro. Because like, you're not just going to have a one-on-one fight in there. It's going to be 8 people jumping on your fucking head. Jail is like, fights in jail is fucking pretty hectic. So, yeah, went in there and just walked in the unit. And it's like, when you open the doors, you're born and you just walk in this big open room with about 50 blokes. Just all look at you. And you're just this fresh bit of meat. And I'm like, fuck, head down. Took my sack to my cell, put that down, walked outside, started training. So I just started training. Just started going up and down, started doing chin-ups because there's no weights in there. It's just chin-up bar and one dip bar. And that's it. And it's an open courtyard. There's no free weights or anything like that. So just started walking, doing some chin-ups, some push-ups, just off, mate. It's still coming down, bro. I'm still fucking just coming off a 10-year drug bender. You know what I mean? I'm fucked. So I didn't really feel. Everyone's like, "Oh, how'd the come down feel like?" To be honest, I didn't really feel it because I was fucking too scared. I had more shit on my mind. I didn't worry about how I was feeling. I was worried about surviving. So just started training, and then every day I got through the first day, went in the cell, slept, went out, trained again first thing in the morning, ate my food, went outside again, walked laps, trained again. I was training every second of the day. And people are like, "You don't fucking stop training, eh?" It's like, but to speak through this, people are like, "Oh, do you want to train with us? Do you want to come jump in and do some pads and shit?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, sweet." So through training, I formed friendships in there. So training saved me in there. So all I did was head down, train, and then I got noticed. And then people just like, "Hey, bro, what are you in for?" Blah, blah, chat to them and shit. And, you know, if I have nothing to be worried about, I didn't dog anyone in. I'm not didn't get done for fucking raping a kid. Like, I'm not going in there. I got done for not good charges, but I got done for charges that aren't really frowned upon in the criminal world. Drugs, you know what, that's just being a criminal, you know?
Yeah.
So I didn't have anything to hide. I wasn't scared. Like, if you go into jail and you've got something to hide, you've done with something like touching a kid, but they go into protection anyway. But, you know, if you've done someone over on the outside, you owe drug money, anything like that, because notes get sent into jail like, "Oh, this guy's in jail, he owes me money, fucking bash him." That's why people get really badly hurt in jail. It's from like old drug debts, or they fucked around with a girl on the outside that wasn't theirs. Like, that's where most of the violence comes from.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So you're not really just going to get outed just for being in there. Like, if you do something wrong or you look at someone wrong, yeah, fuck yeah, you're going to get bashed. But I just went in there, head down, didn't confront anyone, just did my jail, train. And that's why I sort of formed friendships in there. So I started training with groups of mates in there. Then I was sitting at their table at lunch, and I was like, "Dang, fuck." So started doing jail pretty easy then. It was just days. And then I'll call her mum every day on the phone in there. And I was just like, "Mum, I'm going to change. I promise you this is it." And then she's like, "Okay, Darcy." You know, she didn't believe me because I spat in their face my whole fucking life, bro. Okay, I didn't make them proud. I lied to them, said I was going to change thousands of times, bro. Okay, you know, I always went on about my loyalty. You know, I'll never fucking do anything wrong. But the thing, I was lying to my parents every fucking day. I spat in the faces of the one I loved every day, and I was priding myself on my loyalty. But what was I doing to the ones I love? Okay, you know what I mean? It's stupid. So I said every time I caught, I'm going to change. You know, I'm feeling good. You know, I'm training here. I'm fucking feeling happy. I'm looking good. And she's like, "Okay, Darcy." Like, there was no hope in the voice. There was none of it because I fucked them over my whole life. And she's like, "Okay, just do what you got to do, Darcy. Just do it." And then every day I was like, "Fuck this." And that's when I started journaling and stuff like that in jail. So I
Hey,
started writing.
how did you find out about journaling?
I just started writing my thoughts down, bro, because I was alone in the cell for hours. Like, some days we were locked down, 23-hour lockdown. We're only allowed out for an hour. So
Right.
when you're in lockdown like that, you just sit there. So I'll come out and train. But when I go back on the cell, push-ups up, then I just had a book and I started writing because I graffitied when I was younger. So first off, I started graffitiing and drawing in there, which kept my head clear, which was awesome. And then I started just writing down my thoughts. I was just like, started writing down like, "Fucking, this is it, Darcy." Like, talking to myself, pretty much talking to myself, pen to paper. Like, just writing down, didn't really get on the gratitude and stuff till later on, but I just started writing down, you know, "This is it, Darcy. It's the time when you start showing everyone you're going to change. You know, you're going to be your best no matter what happens to mum." Because I had mum going through, I thought mum was going to die when I was in jail from cancer. So I had the fear and the
How
feeling of
long
not
did you
being
get
able to
in
be.
jail?
I did 17 months all up. So a year and 5 months.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I was in there and just started journaling there. And that just sort of cleared my head. I could put my thoughts down on paper. And then, yeah, just started doing that every morning. And then it sort of created a routine. And that's where I started creating that. I was doing it every day, training, just stuck in routine. Days fly by. Your mind starts to clear. You know, I started to feel good about myself. And that's where I built this routine. So I did jail. I was in there for a period of time, did my jail, got out on Supreme Court bail. So I got out on grounds that my mum was dying. So I wanted to go through the court, got all the medical things and stuff like that. And I wanted to get out just so I could spend more time with mum. And that way I could be with her. And then I'd go back and face my charges later. So I've done 8 months. Okay. So then I get out on Supreme Court bail, which went through and I got approved, stuff like that. And then you get out, but you still got to go back to Supreme Court because when I was in there, I wasn't charged yet. I was on remand, which is when you're in there, but you haven't been charged and sentenced yet. You don't know. You still got to wait for your court date. So my court date was coming up for all of it, which is sentencing. So I got out in Supreme Court jail, got out, went to rehab out here, was a part of my conditions, went to rehab down here at Mirakai, Burleigh. So I went there, did time there, and then started doing my PT courses when I got out. Started doing that sort of stuff because I wanted to sort of help people. Training saved my life. So when I was training in there, I was just training other boys in there, and I was like, fuck, why not? And then so started doing my PT course out here, so I was doing that at nights. And then I was doing that during the days. I was in the rehab. So I did rehab for like 2-3 months. And then after the rehab, I went out, moved down the coast. And then that's when I started down here. I was doing volunteer work at the rehab because when I had to go back for Supreme Court bail, I had to go back and face my old charges. My lawyer said, do as much good shit as you can while you're out so you can show the judge that you've changed.
Yeah.
So I went back and I did volunteer work at the rehab. I was going there helping with dinners and stuff like that every night. I started going there and running like little group fitness classes with the people there. It was like a thing I bought. So I started doing group training with a bunch of like the addicts that were in there. Because that's what I was doing when I was in the rehab. I started training a group of people in there. And the rehab's never seen that before. They're like, fuck, we've never had a physical exercise component in here. And then I started running group classes in the rehab. So I had like fucking 10 fucking drug addicts with me. We were all doing burpees and training every day. And it became a part of the rehab routine. Like it was Darcy training with Darcy at 8 became a part of the rehab. So I was sort of running a new part of the rehab. So I was doing that. Then once I finished at rehab, I volunteered there. So I went back there, helped with dinners, still ran the Darcy 8 o'clock classes. And then I was studying to be PT, did all my PT certs. Then I was working nights in a burger shop down here, Milky Lane at Surfers Paradise.
Yeah.
So I was washing dishes there at night just for money so I can afford rent. So I was struggling, bro. I was making $400 or $500 a week, just being able to pay for a single room rent in some share house down here while I was studying during the day. So I was just grinding, bro. I was just setting myself up. And so then over time, I did that. So I had a letter and I was seeing a psychiatrist, like a psychologist, and they ripped me a big letter. So when I went back to court, and then my mate of mine opened up an F45, and that's where my F45 photos are from. He's like, oh, I want you to run and manage my F45. And I said, fuck, you serious, cunt? He's like, yeah, bro, this is your chance. And I thought, this is my chance to make something of myself.
Who was
Ollie
it?
Frost.
Yeah. Where was he?
I did F45 with you.
I know.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was after I did the F45 at Lismore, and that's why I started to do classes with you guys to learn. Remember how I came in to learn it?
Yeah, because I was actually thinking that. I was like, fuck. Because I remember you were there, and then you like I couldn't remember where you went, but you came from Lismore with Tenzin.
Yeah, that's it, with Tenzin. Yeah. So we came in and we were working with you and Emily.
Emma. Yeah.
Emma, yeah. And we were doing, that's why you taught me. So I was learning the cues, and because I had the energy, you see me, I had the energy for the class. I just needed to learn the cues. And that's why you sort of learned that through you guys doing all the group fitness. Like I had the height for it. I was made for that shit. But I just need to learn my cues and stuff. So I was doing that with you. And then that's why I did that. So I could obviously went down to Sydney and did the course, like to run an F45, went down there and did the proper F45, went to Waterloo gym and the Bondi one and trained there. So it was awesome. And then came back and I was running the Lismore one. I fucking killed it. Like I was out there doing letter drops to everyone, fucking new clients messaging all the influencers, being like, come here, train, come. Like I blew it up. Like I got all their members in a couple of weeks. I killed it. And then because all my time, because I thought this was my chance. Yep. And see, when I was down in Lismore, I wasn't even meant to be in New South Wales. So I was down in Lismore, but 3 days a week I had to sign in here at Broadbeach Cop Shop. So I had to drive from Lismore to here to sign in to drive back to Lismore 3 days a week. It was fucked. And run classes. So I had to do it in between. So I'll do my first morning class till 10 and there's a lunch break, get straight in my car, drive all the way to the Gold Coast, sign in, drive all the way back, pretend I was living in the Gold Coast. And I did that for like a couple of months. And then did that. And then my Supreme Court date came up. So I had my sentencing date come up. And I thought, oh, sweet. I'm running F45. I changed my life around. I'm sober. I'm fucking happy. I've rehab. I'm volunteering at the rehab. Even with the F45 Lismore, I was driving back and doing rehab work on Saturdays, like just to help out the rehab. So doing all that, I had a letter from the psychologist. I had a letter from the rehab saying Darcy's completely changed the whole rehab. We've been doing group fitness classes. You helped change so many lives here. Because I did. I was mentoring a lot of the people that were in there, like helping them. Like, because obviously I was a lot more mentally stronger than most of the people that are in the rehab. So I was helping them, training, getting them eating right, like sit like this. And then I went back to my Supreme Court day and I had this big folder of everything. And then I sat down with my lawyer and barrister. My mum and dad were in the next room. I sat down, I'm like, all right, well, this is all the stuff I've been doing. You know what? We're going to be sweet. And they're just like, bro, you're going back to jail. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no. And they're like, mate, you're going to be looking at about 10 years. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, that's fucked. I'm like, look at everything I've been doing. They're like, yeah, well, that's better than doing fucking 15 years. And I'm like, how is this possible? They're like, look at your charges. And they're like, you've got assaults, so many assaults when you were younger. You got willful damages, stealing charges, and then you got more assaults and drugs that you got bail on. And then you went up to Cairns and you got done again for more assaults and more drugs. They're like, mate, we've got a chart. They had like other cases in front of me to prove like, and like this guy got done with an ounce of something and he got 2.5 years. I'm like, is that it? And he's like, yep, no prize, nothing. I'm like, I'm fucked. I got done with a fuckload. I'm like, fuck. So that had to sink in. I'm like, cunt, I'm going back for 10 years. I'm like, fuck, I've lost the F45. I lost everything. Like, I'm fucking, probably my mum's going to die. I'm not even going to see a fucking funeral. You know what I mean? So we went to sentencing. I didn't even tell mum and dad. I was like, fuck, they can just find out when the fucking judge says it. But we went in, sat down. We presented everything to the court, everything like this. And even the prosecutor was the prosecutor's the guy that's against me. And the copper prosecutor. So he's the one talking to me, being like, fucking, and even he's like, look, Darcy has completely changed his life around. He's doing good things. But, and then they brought up the photos of my assault victims and their faces fucked and made me look like a piece of shit. Everything. And then when she delivered her thing, she's like, look, Darcy, this is the best rehabilitation I've ever seen in this courthouse. And I've been a Supreme Court judge for 10 plus years. She's like, I've never seen someone turn their life around like this. I've never seen letters like this. I've never seen someone actually go to so much effort to change their life around. And then I'm like, stunned. And she's like, look, I'm gonna sentence you for 4.5 years and give you time served. So that's my top. So I have to serve about 18 months in my bottom. So you serve about 1/3 or a quarter, and then you can go for parole. But she gave me immediate release, which is not heard of. Usually you've got to apply for parole and stuff anyway, and time served. So that 8 months I did at the start when I was already in jail, she counted that as time. Usually they wipe that off and you start fresh. So she just, and my lawyer turned around and he's just like, and I'm like, fuck. So I had to go back for another 9 months. 9 months I had to go back for. And I'm like, fuck. And then went back in, did my jail, went back into jail. All the same guys were in there. I was like, everyone's like, oh, you're back. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Went back in the same unit. So I just started training with everyone. And they're like, why are you back? I'm like, oh, I got charged sentence. They're like, oh, fuck. So I came back with all my same, and it was just like a training camp. And I had a date to be released. So the jail, when you've got the date to be released, it's sweet. Like you're just stacking up the days, bro. Like when you're on your remand, like first you don't know what's going on, you don't know when you're going out. It's just shit. So I had a date to release. I'm just like, fuck this. Let's train. Got back into training. Everything started training everyone. Yet again, I was running like group fitness classes with everyone. I had a group of like 6 of my good mates in there. We'll train together every day. We'll do weight sessions. Like I'm talking about weight sessions. Like we'll do 1,000 burpees every morning. That was our cardio. I'll do 1,000 burpees every morning in jail, Monday to Sunday, every morning. And then we'll go do weights at midday. So we'll go back and do weights, which is like lunges. Like our leg workout was 2,000 lunges. 2,000 lunges. And then ball squats and everything. It was hectic. The hardest I've ever trained has been in jail. Okay. And then in the afternoon, we'll do boxing. So it was like cardio, burpees in the morning, and then we'll go our weights in the midday, and then we'll go boxing in the afternoon. Because I'll just fly our days in. Like, and that's what we did. And before you know it, I was out again and got out. And then that's when, just got out. Yeah, I got out, and then I rang the F45, I rang Tenzin. And I'm like, hey, bro, I'm ready to come back. I'm ready to come back. I'm out now. I'm fucking ready. And he's just like, bro, there's no chance. And I'm like, what? He's like, bro, the media blew you up, said you were drug dealing out of the F45, said you were fucking, because you see me on the paper and on the F45 trainer, done with drugs, assaults, everything, all this sort of, it blew me up. It fucked everything, bro. If you Google my name, you'll see it. It's fucked. The media just made me look like a piece of shit. The media, and I was there with my big F45 shirt out the front of the Lismore one like this, and then it's like, fucking drug dealing, fucking assault, drug dealing, violent trainer, and it fucked my whole name. Because we had coppers in that training at the Lismore one. We had like police and everything. So they had to sort of play it up like they had no idea. And they made it sound like I was still up to no good when I was doing the F45, but I was clean and sober. Yeah. But the media just fucks everything, bro. So I was just like, fair call, because I fucking fucked the name of the F45. And then, then I was like, fuck. And then I went to a local Good Life because I knew I'm like, fuck, I've got to make something of myself. I'm like, fuck this. Then went to my local Good Life at Chermside there. And then it started just applying there. And then they said, yep, start on, because that was my old gym I used to train at back when I first came back from New Zealand. I knew people there, so I went there. And I'm like, fuck this, I'm going to make a name for myself. So every morning, I was living with a mate of mine at Aspley. So I'd wake up every morning at 1 o'clock. I'd get up every morning, 1 a.m. And then to be in the gym at 2:30, because I had to walk there because I lost my fucking license. So I had to walk there every morning, like 45-minute walk, get to the gym around 2, be there ready for people to walk in. And I stayed in the gym from 2:30 a.m. till 7:30 at night, 5 days a week, every night, Monday. And then Saturday mornings, I'll be in there till about midday. And I didn't get any leads from Good Life, no birthday list, nothing. I got all my clients off the floor because I was going up to everyone. Hey, how you doing? Introducing myself to everyone. I'm like, I'm going to fucking make something. So I started hustling. So I started going up, building relationships. Hey, how you doing? Like, I'll just introduce myself, and then over time you build a relationship, and you'd be like, hey, how you going? Do you want me to show you something? I'll show them a workout, or I'll show them something. And then like, oh, so like, if you ever want to do a session, let me know, and I'll run you through a session free, completely free, and I'll run you through something. And once I train someone for free, they're like, fuck, that's a workout. And then they sort of wanted to be trained by me.
Yeah.
So after, if you know PT numbers, like after 4 weeks at Good Life Chermside, I was doing 100 sessions a week after 4 weeks. It's ridiculous. I was doing fucking back-to-back sessions from 2:30 a.m., had a little break at mid train, and I'll do back-to-back sessions from about 2:30 till about 7:30 at night. Back-to-back half-an-hour sessions.
And mate, just for context, like how many sessions would a normal PT be doing? It was busy.
15 to 20 a week. Yeah. But that's after like them working for a year to get that. Like
So
I did this 4 weeks. I was booked out. Hey?
You had how many sessions a week?
My max was 104. 104. So I was roughly about 90 to 100 a week. And then I was doing group fitness class, and then I was doing boot camps on Saturday at New Farm Park in Brisbane. So I was go Saturday, I'd have all my clients meet up on New Farm Park, $20 a head. And then I was killing it. I was just fucking grinding, and everyone's like, oh, you're going to burn out. You know, no, I had so many PTs. I told them those numbers, and everyone's like, you can't be doing that. I'm like, have a look at my calendar, cunt. Fucking call the manager, bro. Okay? Fucking I know what I'm doing. And they're like, oh, you're going to burn out, bro. No one can do that. No one, those numbers, you can't maintain that. I'm like, can't I be doing this for a year, bro? I'm like, come at me. I'm like, I've got to make a name for myself. I've got to make up for everything. Nothing was, my drive and my goal was to make my family proud, make my mum and dad proud. And nothing was going to stop me from doing that. No, I was getting up 1 a.m. every day. And then I'd just sleep in on Sunday and then just have a sleep on Sunday, reset for next week. I got tired. Fucking oath I did. Okay. But I did not quit. Half the time, like at midday on Thursdays, because that was my rest day, on midday on Thursdays, I'd sleep in the childcare section in Good Life. I'll go in there, just turn the lights off, have a 2 hours, like an hour and a half nap, and then wake up and then go back out, splash water on my face, have a shower and go back out and keep PTing. I lived in that gym.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I was doing, and over this time, like obviously, mum's still around, so I was going and seeing them on the weekends and showing them how good I was doing. And dad couldn't believe it. Dad was just like, what the fuck? He's just like, because I started showing him, like I was making like 5 or 6 grand a week just PTing face to face. Like he's just like, what the fuck? And he's just like, because dad was just like, you got to get a trade. You know, he's an old Aussie bloke. Like it's just like, you got to be a builder. You're not going to get anywhere. You know, you got to be a labourer. You know, then you get a trade, or you're not going to get it anywhere in life. And I'm like, fucking, we're not in 1900s anymore. You know, like, so I was showing this, and he's just watching this, and then that's the first time like my mum and dad have ever said, like, dad's like, son, I'm proud of you. And the day he said that, I just broke down crying, bro. You know, like I broke down crying and started crying my eyes out. Mum said it to me when I first got out. The first time she knew, well, she came and visited me in the rehab and stuff like that, and I've had chats with her. She's seen how healthy. You can see when someone's healthy, bro. You know, and she could see that I was changing. I was doing the right things. And that's when she said she was proud of me. That was a massive moment too, because I'm doing this for them. But then when dad said it to me, and he's like ringing his mates on the phone, being like, you should see how good Darcy's doing. You know, he's making $5 grand a week, like boasting about me to his mates. And he's never said a good word about me because I never gave him a good word. That's not their fault. That's my fault. I never gave him anything to be proud of my whole life. You know what I mean? Like all my life, the only thing I had nothing to be proud of. I was fucking, you know, I was fucking off my head, just dealing drugs and fighting and fucking being a crib my whole life. I never gave me anything to be proud of. I spat in my face my whole life. So that just drove me even more. You know, it just drove me even more to become better and better. And every day I was just killing it. And then I started doing videos on Instagram about my routine and started like just doing a bit of fuck with. Like,
talk to us about that routine.
but I started because every day in jail, okay, so this is where I found routine and structure. And this is what the most important thing in anyone's life should be, is having a good routine. Okay, so when I found routine and structure, okay, this is what got me through every day. Routine and structure kept me on track. Routine and structure give me something to focus on. Okay, because when you don't have something to focus on, you look for other things. Okay, so every day when I was in jail, I started writing down journaling. I just started doing that. So every day I'd wake up. First off, I'd journal. I'd have my journal. I wake up, journal first thing when I wake up. Okay, then I'd start journaling. Okay, and then after that, I'd have my cold shower and I'd have a coffee because there's no like kettle or anything in the cells. You just got cold water. That's it. So every morning in jail, this is where the coffee and the cold shower comes from. I had a cold shower, and when I was in there, I'd fill my coffee up in the shower, and then I'll drink it while I'm having my cold shower. That's like how I woke up. So I had a coffee in my cold shower every morning. I did that every day. Then I journaled. Then I started meditating. I didn't even know what fucking meditation was, but I started closing my eyes and then started remembering all the fucking shit that I've done, like all the pain that I've caused. And I'm just like, just gonna be like, fuck this. And just thinking, visualizing my family, visualizing the ones I love, things like that. And just started visualizing and started being grateful. And then I started realizing, like, fuck, I'm glad I'm here. I'm happy I'm here. I'm changing my life. This is gonna be the best thing that happened. And that's when I sort of bring gratitude in. So I started writing down my gratitude, started journaling. And then when I got out, the only reason I stayed on track when I got out of jail is 99% of people, if you know people that have been in jail, they fall back into the same habits. Addicts, people from jail, same thing. They get off track and they fall back into old habits. In jail was where I found routine. I'd wake up, I'd do my morning routine. I would eat at the same time every day. I'd train at the same time every day. I'd train again at the same time every day. Every day I had routine, and the days flew by, and I woke up and I could sleep. I had a happiness. Days were going by, and I was sweet, you know. And then I kept doing that when I got out. When I got out of jail, I still had my cold showers. I still wrote down a journal. I still went to the gym. I still trained at a certain time. I didn't break routine. And this is how people slip back, is because they break their routine. As soon as you break your routine, everything starts to get messy. Your life gets a mess. Okay, when your life is a mess, you're a mess. Okay, because nothing's in order. Nothing's ready. You don't know when you're doing what. You might skip some things, and then you feel like you're failing. When people feel like they're failing, they'll fall back into doing shit because they feel like they can't do it when they can. Okay, so I just stayed on track, kept doing that. So then I started doing videos, and the first one I did was I had a cold because I wanted to show people how I changed my life. Because I told my story, only a few people knew my story. And they're like, how'd you do it? Like, fucking, what changed you? I'm like, oh, well, I'm stuck doing the same stuff. Just, then I'm like, fuck it, I want to start showing people on social media. And then I put the photo of me when I used to be on the drugs and everything like that. And everyone's like, fuck, that's such a great transformation. Some people started reaching out to me on Instagram that I don't even know, being like, how'd you change? This transformation is amazing. How'd you get off the drugs? How this, that? So I was like, fuck, I'm going to start showing people how I changed. So I did my first video in my cold shower. So I had a cold shower and I drank a coffee like normal in the cold shower. And I was just a fucking idiot. I was just like, yeah. And I spat the coffee and I was just drinking it like a dickhead. But I'm like, this is fucking boring. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just drinking a coffee in the cold shower. And then for some reason, something came over my mind and I just fucking chucked it on my face. And I'm like, yeah, and this was like, you see my energy in the shower. Yeah. So I chucked it on my face. And then I posted it, and I looked at it, and I'm like, "What a fucking idiot!" I'm like, "Yes," and I laughed at it, and I was like, "Fuck!" So I put it up, and then it just blew up. Like, I put it up for about a week, and I had thousands of messages of people I don't even know, being like, "What the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck are you doing this for?" And then I'll start to tell people I never break my routine. No matter how stupid I look, I'm still doing my routine. That's what I start. That's the whole idea. My cold shower is I never break it. Name me one day on my Instagram that I haven't done it.
Mate,
I've done a Christmas Day. Yeah.
Every fucking day. And mate, you actually fucking inspired me. I was like, fuck, I'm going to start journaling. I got a book and I start journaling. I'm like, fuck. Mate, it's just so fucking powerful, isn't it?
I know. When you put your thoughts to paper and you write down what you want, what you don't want in your life, okay, and what you have got in your life, it makes you feel so much better about your day. You don't feel lost, and you put your thoughts down or your feelings about what you've got in your life and be like, fuck, life's not that bad. I look back every day. I'm like, I'm not some fucking junkie anymore. I'm not some fat cunt anymore. I'm like, I've come here, my family proud. I'm happy. Like, what the fuck? I'm living my best life. Today is going to be good. Because, bro, if you're having an okay day, you're having a fucking good day, bro. Because someone out there is having a fucking shit day, okay? People out there are getting fucked in the ass. People out there getting raped every day, getting bashed, physically, sexually abused every day against their fucking will. People out there starving, homeless, going through a word of hell that you and I got no fucking idea of. And we're complaining because we feel a bit down when we wake up. The only reason people feel down is they're not moving anywhere. Okay, if you're moving forward, you're hitting goals, you're training every day, you're hitting goals, you're waking up feeling amazing, you're on track, you start to feel good about yourself, life's good. Fucking awesome. Okay, it's simple. The only reason you're waking up feeling like shit, 9 times out of 10, it's from your choices that you've done the day before. Alcohol, drugs, shit, food, guess what? They're all going to make you feel like shit. Okay, my thing that I go on about and I say to myself is, if it takes away my happiness from tomorrow, what's the point? You know, if something takes away my happiness tomorrow, I'm not going to allow it in, because I've had enough of being unhappy. I was unhappy my whole fucking life. So why would I allow it in and allow it to happen again? You know, having one drink, it's like, oh, don't you just have one? Why? What's the fucking point? It's going to affect me tomorrow. It's going to make me feel like shit. I'm not going to feel myself. And I love feeling myself because I love who I am now. I love my life. I wake up feeling amazing every day. Why would I want to sabotage that? Makes no fucking sense to me, you know? So that's when I started doing the cold shower, doing showing people, and that blew up. And then started journaling, putting photos of my journal up there, and just my transformation of me, just like where I've come from. And then people are like, can you help me? People reach out like, can you please help me? Your videos are inspiring me. Like, I've started having cold showers, man. I just want the next step. Like, and I'm like, fuck, I could really help people here doing what I do. And I've literally started coaching people for free. Like, I've started off just being like, hey, yeah, here, try doing this. And I sent people like just a list of what I do in the morning. Like, wake up, cold shower, meditate, blah, 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 my whole morning routine, and send that to people. And they message me back a week later, man, I've been the happiest I've ever been. Like, this week has been the best week of my life. Me and my missus are speaking again. My kid proud. I feel like I'm a better role model. I'm like, fucking what? I'm like, mad. Starting to help people. And then I'm like, fuck, I can really help people. So then I just thought I'd make a program on how to help people get on track. And then I built up a program, and I already had my app from PT. So I had the whole PT side of things, like the training, the meals, all that sort of shit. Sweet. I just brought in the mindset aspect of it. So like my mindset, I set people routines. I sit down with every client when they sign up with me, and I go through their routine. I go through their times when they wake up, times when they go to sleep, structure their day for them. I'm like, why are you staying awake till 9 p.m.? Oh, I don't know. I'm just watching TV. All right, let's get to 8 p.m. We go to bed and we wake up an hour earlier. That means you've got time for routine in the morning. That means you've got time for gym. And then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, sweet. And they stop wasting time doing pointless shit. Because you sit on TV or your phone all night, you're sacrificing 2 to 3 hours that you could be waking up early and getting shit done. People say they don't have time. Where do you spend your time? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've got a fucking great post you just put on Instagram about time. Can't find time to get to the gym. Can't find time to eat well. But fuck, you get time to go out the weekend, going to benders.
Yeah, 100%. You got time to do anything. Mate, I had time when I used to go get on. I'd travel kilometers, like miles, bro, to go get on. But see, that was like, I wouldn't even think about it. It was just, I had to do it. It was a must do.
It's like the
priority.
priority.
So now number one priority. But now I make everything that betters me a must do. Why sacrifice my things that make me feel happy for something that's going to take away that happiness? So I started putting all that in programs, and I started getting out there, and then I started making some epic fucking life changes, bro. I had messages from people saying like, man, I've gone to rehab 5 times. I've gone to psychiatrists. I've seen counselors. You know, I've tried everything. I've been on medication. You know, I've always fall back. I can never change. You know, I've done everything I could. And since I started with you, I've been sober 6 months. And they haven't been able to change their whole life through rehabs, through proper professionals trying to help them. But see, how can you relate to a professional? All good on for doing 12 years at uni, whatever the fuck you do, good on you. Great job. Fuck that. But they haven't got any life experience. You know what I mean? I would never get told by someone that hasn't lived my life how to live mine. I'm just like, if say, for example, in school, if someone came into school and was a football star or was a police officer or was someone telling me not to be a bad kid because you're going to go in trouble or you're going to fuck your life, I'm like, how do you even know, cunt? How do you live a day in my shoes? I'm like, you haven't had a hard day in your fucking life. So I think that's the exact same with what I'm doing. People can relate to my story and I give them hope, which I do. And if they do what I say, I will change their life. I know what I do works. I now have so much confidence in what I do now because I'm doing every person I've coached. You know?
Yeah.
I've literally changed every single person.
You're going into schools now, aren't you? I think I've seen on your
Instagram.
Yeah.
So funny story about that. So how I got into schools and started speaking in schools and started mentoring young kids and getting them in the gym and training with me and stuff. That was cool. But one of my old teachers that actually expelled me from school watched my Instagram.
No way.
And she was like, she messaged me and she's like, and I've seen the name and it was like a fake profile, like, but it had Hickman, and Hickman was his teacher in school and she was a bitch. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck, I hate you. But anyway, so she ended up expelling me from school and she reached out to me. She's like, hey, Darcy, love what you're doing. It's amazing to see what you've done, blah, blah. I'm running this suspension program at school. And I just want to know if you could come in and speak to the kids. And I'm like, yeah, it's sweet. No, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'd love to. I've always wanted to do that. Like, I've always wanted to go in and tell my story like I'm doing now. I love it. I love telling where I've come from. It inspires people. So, and then, yeah, when she's like, do you know who I am? I'm like, nah. She's like, it's Miss Hickman. I'm like, I know that name. She's like, yeah, I expelled you from school. I'm like, holy fuck. And then met up with her and then we kicked it off. She's a cool chick. I was just, obviously, I'm going to think she's a bitch if I'm doing wrong and she's to get me in trouble. Fuck, but she's an actually great human. And she's actually in schools to actually really help kids. She runs a suspension program in her own time and like helps kids try to get back on their feet that are in, so all those kids that have spoken in front of her, all in a suspension program. So they're all up to no good. And I went in there, told them my story, and started really connecting with these kids, and started training them, and then got them in the gym with me, trained them all for free. Like I did, came and they were training with me and everything like that. And then that's when I was doing PT in the morning, and then I was doing my online in the afternoon. It's because I started to get my online clients. I'm like, okay, I'll do PT session in the morning, so I cut back my afternoons. I'll stop at 11 o'clock. I'll do PTs from 2:30 a.m. till 10:30, and then I'll train, and then I'll go back and do my online clients. So then and then I'll just be focused on that. And I could always get home in the afternoons. And then I'd have my phone was like fucking packed for messages from people. I'm like, fuck, and I'm just trying to race and get to the afternoon. I didn't have time. I was like, fuck, trying to go to bed late, trying to message everyone back. And I'm like, fuck, because I wake up super early. Always waking up I wake up 2:30 every day. That's the time I've always woken up. So I get up then. And then, yeah, that's when I was just like, fuck, I really need to. Oh, so back on the kids, yeah. So I started mentoring them, and that's why I started doing that. Then went in that school with all those in front of all them teachers. So I've got all these teachers flew over from all over Australia. It's like all psychologists and counsellors meet up here at Jindalee in Brisbane. Oh, well, Jindalee, and they meet up and they try and go over ideas to change kids because youth crime's fucked at the moment. Yeah. So they meet up and try to come with ideas. And I got invited to be a guest speaker there and told my story there and blew their fucking heads off for that. They were all crying at the end of it. Really? Like it was fucking hectic. Yeah. So, yeah, started doing all that with that. And then, yeah, all this. And that's when as I said, I was doing all my online and doing face-to-face. But then I started to cut back. And then I ended up doing that bodybuilding comp. Oh, yeah. So I ended up doing that bodybuilding comp. And I was like, fuck, I'm going to do a comp and show everyone that anyone could do it. Like, that's why I did it. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not seeking attention. I don't care about getting a photo on stage. That's not why I did it. I did it for a mental game for me, but also to show everyone, no matter who you are, no matter where you come from, you can achieve whatever you want, which is because building a comp is a lot pretty mental battle. And I found that out doing it. I didn't know what you had to go through to do it. It's fucking hectic. But so I did that comp, and when I did my comp, I was doing face-to-face PT, but in like the final 6 weeks, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to focus on the comp. I'm going to tell all my clients that I'll do face-to-face with it. I'll come back after my comp. I'm just going to have it. And like, yep, sweet, no worries. So I did my comp, but then when I was doing my comp, I had more time to be on my phone. So then my online stuff, I literally doubled my online business in 2 weeks. Yeah, like it just went crazy. And the more time I spent on it, the quicker I could get back to clients, the more interactive I can be, the more because I voice note all my clients, I chat to all my clients every day. So I'm waking up early in the morning, messaging them all, making sure they're on track and stuff. So I had time to do this, and I could reply to everyone. And I'll sit there, and I've doubled on my business, and I'm like, can't, because I was only really doing face to face, yes, because I love doing it, I love PTing people, but I wasn't changing lives. Okay, so you're in there, PT, you go high five, good job, yeah, that was a great PB, good, see you later, that's it, next. It's not, you don't really get the connection of the mindset work and the mental health stuff really helping. And see, with my online, I started to get some epic feedback, and I'm like, this is where I'm meant to be. This is the path that I'm meant to follow. And then after I did my comp and I could give more time to all my online clients, I doubled my business and then I only tripled it again in the next week. I'm like, what the fuck? This is blowing up. Yeah. It just went ridiculous. So after I did my comp, I gave up face-to-face PT. It just opened my eyes up. If I didn't do the comp, I would not have stepped away from face-to-face, because face-to-face was like my safety blanket, because that was like paying for my bills, because I pay for all my parents' stuff as well. I support my mum and dad. I pay for their rent and their bills, everything like that as well. Yeah. So like, if that was my safety net, was like PT covers my bills, my parents' bills. If I don't have that, because online it's like risky, because it's like for online clients, will they stay? See, that was guaranteed sessions locked in every week for months, like to the end of the time. Online, you don't really know. But once I started doing online, the connections I made with people, like, people are with me because I'm their friend, and I am their friend, and I help them through a lot of stuff, and I talk to them every day. Like, I mentor my clients. Like, they're all my mates. I'm like DRC Fit. That's like, I'm my community, my DRC army. They're just like all my mates, bro. Like, everyone I coach knows me well. I know them well. I know all my client stories without even knowing I know them. I know their background, where they've come from. I don't know how the fuck I remember it. I've got like fucking 400 clients, so I don't know how, but I remember everyone's story, why they reach out to me, what they were going through, why their reason is they want to change. And I just remember every person individually. It's fucking weird, but it's just something that I'm good at. And then I really make good connection with people. And then I started going fully online, and then it just fucking took over. And now I'm just where I am now. And the feedback I get, the lives of the channel, like, have a look at my transformations, bro.
Mate.
They're the best online. Oh, fucking show me better ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking ridiculous. But that's because I get people's mindset right. Because when their mindset's right and they got me to hold them accountable every day and they're working on themselves mentally, you are going to get to your best. I don't give a fuck who you are. You will get to your best over time if you keep your head right. It's when people fall off, like, and allow toxic shit in or something like that, and they've got no one to hold them accountable. See, most of my client base, they're addicts. You know, most of my client base is struggling with food, alcohol, or drugs. That's why people connect with me where I come from, because I give them hope. And I am hope. And I will change their life. I'm there for them. So usually when people are in that life, when they fuck up, they give up. No one gets back up. So everyone fucks up. For people to change, they got to get back up. But everyone doesn't have the power to. Most people are weak, and they'll just fuck up, and then they'll dig themselves deeper and deeper in the hole, and they think they can't change. But the key is to get back up. I fucked up a million times, bro. You know, but I got back up. You know, I kept trying, and then I am where I'm now. And people do the exact same. People that fall off with me, everyone I coach falls off at some point.
Yeah.
You know, everyone I coach falls off, but then I'm there sending my voice note, being like, because if I don't hear from my client in a couple of days, because I talk to my clients pretty much every day. Okay, so when I don't hear from them from a couple of days, I just see them. I go through all my messages and I see they've seen it, but they haven't replied from like 3 days ago, and I'm just like, they fucked up. I'm just like, I'll message them like, hey, I don't give a fuck what happened. Let's get back on track. And I'm like, remember, we're doing this for your kids. We're doing this to fucking make everyone proud. We're doing this for a better life. Get back up. And then they message me back like, yeah, fucking no, tomorrow I'm going to make it happen. If I didn't message them, they wouldn't have got up the next day.
Yeah.
They would have fucking fallen off again. So I'm there to help people up. Once they fuck up that first time, they get back up. They don't fuck up again because they know they fucked up. And I make them remember that situation. I'm like, remember when you fucked up. Remember the pain you caused. Remember how you let down your kids. Remember the fucking how depressed you were. Don't let it happen again. Let's do this. And it fires them up, you know? And then yeah, that's why I get the feedback and transformation that it was fucking off its head. It's crazy. And it's just blowing up more than I even know. Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, mate, so what's like, you wake up at 2:30. What's your routine like?
I wake up 2:30 every day. My alarm goes off. I get straight up. I jump straight in my cold shower. I make my coffees first. One to
you have
drink.
2 coffees, don't you?
Yeah, one to drink and then one to throw on my face. Okay. Wake up, make my coffee. You know, I put like my rice and stuff on for the day, whatever I got to do, like my rice cooker, put my rice on for the day, whatever. Make my coffee, get them ready, okay, then go in the shower, set up my tripod.
You meal prep in the morning for your day?
Yeah, well, I just make up my rice in the morning, then I air fry my chicken, then that's ready to go. Like, I make my meals super simple. My protein oats, I put the oats in the water, make it protein, bit of almond spread, easy out. It's like my meal prep. If you make it simple, you can get your meal prep done in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, you cook the rice up, the rice is cooking done. The rice is ready to go. After I get out of the shower, the rice is baked. Okay, I'll put the chicken in the air fryer, 8 minutes, done. That's going. Okay, then I put the rice, chicken, weigh that up, drizzle a bit of macadamia oil for my fats, done. Those meals are done. Sweet. Meal 2 and 3 done. My meal 1's 50, like my oats, protein, banana, and some almond spread. I put the oats in the boiling water, let that sit, come out, mix that all together. My meal 1's done. My meal 2 and 3's done. Then I got my dinner when I get home.
Yeah.
It's simple as fuck. Takes 10 minutes, bro. Everyone that says I don't have time to prep, you are being fucking lazy. It takes more time to drive to Macca's to go get food. Okay? The 10, 20-minute drive you take to go get fast food, you could spend that 10, 20 minutes on making food and have it done quicker. Doesn't make sense.
I think I made a video and I've done 5 meal preps in fucking 8 minutes. It's like,
bro, it's so easy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most of the time you make your own meals and you add your own flavors, it tastes better than it would have any meal out anyway.
Yeah. So you wake up, you prep, start your prep, food prep, go for a shower, coffees, then gym?
No. So I wake up, get my coffees ready, set my tripod up, cold shower, film myself chucking a cold shower, come out, journal. So I write my journal down, write down what I've got, where I've come from, remind myself where I've come from, remind myself I am changing lives, remind myself I am making a difference. I don't let any outside noise in. So I just remind myself, I am fucking making a difference. I am making my family proud. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. Fire myself up for the day. That's why I journal. You pump yourself up. Okay. People say they don't believe in motivation. I motivate myself every fucking morning, and I have for 6 years when I woke up. Motivation is real if you can motivate yourself. Okay. Think about the shit you got in your life. Think about why you want to do what you do, and you were going to be motivated. Okay. Yeah. And then journal, do that, and then I get ready and go for my walk. So I do morning cardio walk. I do about 80-minute walk in the morning. So when I do my walk, I just go through, message all my clients, go through, message everyone. I've got like inboxes fucking chockers every day. So I go through one by one, just voice note everyone, just message everyone back, keep in touch with everyone, check if anyone's fallen off sort of thing. And I'll do that all on my morning walk. I'll do my meditation as well. So after I journal, I'll listen to 4-minute meditation, woosah, shit, and then go for my walk, make sure my clients come back, eat a meal, then I'll go to gym. Train, do my weights, after weights, come home, and then just fucking work and message everyone all day. And I'll do that every day. That's my routine.
I should fucking every day. You never break your routine.
I haven't broken my routine in 6 years.
Fuck, unreal. And mate, I think like probably a lot of people think like, was there one moment that just clicked for you? But would you say there's one moment, or was it just like gradually over time, like going to jail?
Oh, when everything fell to shit. Because over time, if you're fat as fuck, if you hate yourself every day, if you're on the drugs, if you're drinking all the time, there's going to be a point you were just going to get sick of it. Are you sick of waking up? You ask someone, when is the last time you woke up happy? Okay, 9 times out of 10, people can't answer that question. They've got to think about it. You know, so I'm like, fuck this. I'm over waking up feeling like shit. I'm over letting everyone down, and I feel like it gets you nowhere. Addiction, drugs, alcohol, shit food, not working on yourself. You are literally getting nowhere in life. You're going to be depressed every day. And how much longer do you want to be depressed? You're not stuck where you are. And that's what I'm trying to show people. That if you start working stuff, anyone can change. It doesn't matter who or what everyone else is doing. That's why I don't even use social media. So I use social media for a business. I don't scroll. I don't look at stories. I don't look at likes. I don't look at comments. If you've commented on my shit, guess what? I don't give a fuck because I don't check. Okay, so if anyone's hating on me, look, reply. I don't give a fuck, bro. Okay, I don't care because I don't get amongst social media because it's toxic. You bring yourself down because social media, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, you will go on there, even if you had a perfect day. Okay, you go on social media, you will compare yourself to someone else who means nothing to you and you mean nothing to them, and you will put yourself down. Okay, and it's just negative. There's no positive out of social media. So as I said, with drugs, alcohol, everything, if it takes away my happiness from tomorrow, I won't allow it in. So if it takes away my happiness from right now, why would I allow it in either? Yeah. So I don't even use social media. So, yeah.
Mate, I seen something the other day, and this will be like kind of last little bit, but something you put up the other day, and someone was saying, oh, but Darcy, now you're on steroids and fucking this and that. That's prescribed steroids, prescribed testosterone. You're on a TRT.
Bro, I'm on TRT. I'm not fuck. I put a video up holding my fucking subscription box card. I don't give a fuck. When I got out of jail, because I smoked drugs when I was very young. So I didn't sleep my whole child. Like most of my teenage years, I'd be awake for 7 to 10 days at a time. I'd let my body shut down. I'd wake up for another 7, 8 days. That was my life. I did not sleep. Okay, so I did not sleep from fucking 13 till about 23 when I went to jail. So my hormones were fucked. I got out of jail and I got a blood test to check my hormones because I had, like, not my hormones, but check I didn't get HIV or AIDS. Everything's in jail. You name the disease, it's in fucking jail, bro. Everyone's using, sharing needles. It's dirty as fuck. So I've got a blood test when I got out. So I was like, fuck, man, I'm getting a blood test to check I'm healthy. I got my bloods done and everything came back fine except my test levels. I had fucking the test levels of a 12-year-old girl. It was like 1. You know, it was just low as. So then went through the process, seeing an oncologist, seeing all doctors, got all prescribed. And then they ended up putting me on TRT because I told them, and obviously they said, well, obviously from years of drug abuse, you weren't sleeping, you fucked your hormones because that stage of your life, when you're growing up, that's when you develop as a man. Yeah. You know, my tests, like, couldn't get my dick hard, I couldn't do fucking anything. You know, I got out of jail, I had no energy, you know what I mean? So I started TRT and I just run half a mil, well, 0.7 of a mil, so 0.35 twice a week. Okay, I'm not ashamed, embarrassed. Yes, but if it gives me better quality of life, I'm going to do it. Okay, my energy level's through the roof. I'm happy as fuck. My dick gets hard. Okay, you know what I mean? I feel happy every day. It gives me energy. I feel amazing. You know what I mean? I tell people to get a blood test when they start with me. If they're feeling emotional, most middle-aged men that message me that want to start with me, I tell them to get a fucking blood test. I say, go get a blood test. You know, we get them their stuff sorted, but if they're still not feeling the best, I say, look, go get a blood test. You know, they go get a blood test. 9 times out of 10, men come back with fucking low as tests, okay? And they feel like shit. There's massive links to low testosterone and suicide, depression, everything. It's huge. Male mental health is not looked upon like that. Everyone's like, oh, you're just a weak cunt. No, you and your hormones are fucked. You've got no energy. Your sex drive is down. You feel less of a man. Okay, you don't feel like a man. You can't get your dick hard. You can't fucking perform. You got no energy. You feel down all the time. You got emotions. That's why people start drinking and using drugs and shit like that. Yeah. It's because it leads from that. It stems from that. Okay, people say your drugs come out. I don't give a fuck, bro. Okay, I wake up feeling amazing every day. Okay, people say, oh, I've seen one saying, oh, ice is no different to steroids. I'm like, can't you come smoke ice with me for 1 month? Okay, and then go do steroids for 1 month, and you tell me which way if that feels similar. I'm like, you're a fucking idiot, bro. Okay, you know. But I admit, on my bodybuilding comp, I used fuckloads of steroids. I was super unhealthy. Okay, that's why I won't do it again, because I found it's super unhealthy. That's why I'm not going to compete again. Yeah, okay, I said, once I did it, that was it. I was unhealthy. I was using Tren. I was using all that sort of shit. I wasn't sleeping. I was very unhealthy. My joints were fucked. I was lethargic. I looked fucking sucked out. My energy levels were fucked. I was feeling depressed. It reminded me back when I was on the drugs. I literally felt like I was scattered and coming down again when I was doing my comp. So it was a big mental thing, but it literally brought back past trauma. It was like PTSD when I did my comp. Fuck. You know, people do it, but it just brought back past trauma for me. And I'm like, I never want to be unhealthy again. Like, this is making me feel like I'm going back to the old me. I'm like, and I hated it. I really hated it. Like, it was great to get there. I did it because it was a mental. I set a goal and I've done it. But I'm good, feeling amazing every day. I'm good, thanks. Like, I'm in a photo on a stage, fucking for a like on Instagram. I couldn't give a fuck what anyone thinks about me, can't. You know what I mean?
Mate, I done a photo shoot. I didn't go in the comp, but I done a photo shoot and got not as lean as you, relative about 7%.
Yeah.
I fucking hated it as well.
Right.
Weak as shit, fucking cold all the time.
Yeah.
Only thinking about food. Fucking kept forgetting things. Fuck, put my keys down. Fuck, I'd be like, where the fuck did I put my keys? They'd be in the fridge, and it was fucking mad.
You sacrifice your quality of life, bro. Like, not going out for dinner with the missus, not being able to do anything like that. Like, fuck, like at the moment, bro, food's like my little outlet. Once a week, I go for a nice meal once a week, and if that's taken away from me, I'm like, fuck this cunt. You know what I mean?
I remember I went out for a meal and my missus got food and I got a fucking Coke Zero.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking shit. I know. I was taking because in the comp, my meal plan was oats in the morning, and then I literally had chicken and asparagus for every other meal. That's it. And I was like gagging on asparagus at the end of the day. I was like, fuck this.
We had fish and asparagus for 6 meals a day, and I was like, fucking barramundi. And mate, I've never ate barramundi since. Fucking
I've never touched asparagus since either. I fucking hate it. Shit.
Mate, fuck, I love your honesty. And mate, just on that, I'd 100% take TRT if my fucking hormone levels were down. And I think any guy watching this should go and get their bloods taken. And if you need it, it's not fucking steroids. It's not like fucking going.
You're not blasting Tren in a gym just to lift heavier.
It's totally different.
I don't do it for body. I don't do it. I do it for my mental health. If you're low in testosterone, if you're low in energy, mood, your dick's not working, you feel like shit, go get a blood test and then thank me later.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you see these people that are commenting on them, you look at their profiles, they are fucking losers, bro.
Yeah.
They're going to message me in a fucking year when their lives are fucked and help. Okay? You know, they'll sign up with me in a fucking couple of days, can't.
Yeah.
People only get so angry at my videos and just hate on my videos because they know I'm so right.
Yeah.
Okay, my videos are spot on. I speak about my life. I speak about everything I've done. My videos are from experience. Okay, sitting there, fucking being a fucker. This is me. I'll just speak. What do you think? My videos are one take. I sit there, I think of a subject, and I speak about my past. That's it. I don't edit it. I don't do anything. They're off my head every morning, just fucking off the top of my head because I lived it. You know, that's why my videos are so fucking hectic.
I'm in stitches. Like, I'm fucking pissing myself laughing and watching it. But there's like a real fucking serious element to it because people are living that life. And you're hitting that pain point for them. And at first, they're probably going to deny it. They'll be like, "This is can he's a fucking what does he know?" And but
I
mate,
know.
it took time to like listen, and you're offering a solution. You're like, mate, this
Yeah.
is not fucking normal.
Yeah,
Don't
I know.
take it. You can change your life.
I know. People watch my videos. People reach out to me and like, man, I started watching videos. I thought you were fucking here. And then they started getting deeper and deeper and they seen the meaning behind it. And they're like, you're speaking about everything I'm doing. You're speaking exactly what I'm doing. Sitting in a room by myself, depressed, started off fun and games with mates. Now I'm sitting depressed, let my family down, fucking pulling my dick till it's red raw when you're off your fucking head cooked as fuck. Like, how is that fun? You know what I mean? Like, but once I do have a good way of getting my message across because I get people in because the way I speak and the humor I've got in it. But then I hit that, and there is nothing but hard facts all the way through it and reality all the way through it. There's no me lying at any point in my videos. It is 100% truth from the start to the finish. So
Mate,
I know my message is fucking hectic.
it's hectic, but it's mate, the fucking lives that you're changing, the market. I think as well, like the market of people that you're helping. Like I was thinking about this morning. A lot of PTs could not do it. Like, because as you said before,
Yeah,
like I couldn't do it because fuck, no one would relate to it. Like I couldn't relate
yeah,
to it.
yeah.
You
I
know what I mean?
know.
So you're like, it's fucking magic what you're doing.
Justin, no, there is no online coach in the world doing what I'm doing. You find me one. People are trying, but they're not authentic. They haven't been there. They haven't been through the lows. Like I hate seeing PTs as well going on. I don't check social media, but there's one I'm not going to mention names, but he goes on and goes like, "Oi, you fat cunt." He just goes, "Oi, you fat
Ah,
fucker."
yeah,
You know, "Oi, you fat fuck." This is you being fat. You don't understand. That's like saying, "Oi, you junkie," because foods and people that are fat, it's an addiction. It's their coping mechanism. And when people, especially coming from a PT or coach on a screen, yelling you, calling you fat when they've never been fat in their life, how do you have a right to say that? You
yeah,
do not know the feeling of that. If I see someone said something to me that who hasn't been through the trenches or hasn't been that, I'll be like, fuck you. It really makes me angry. But that's just because they're trying to hit people when they're low, trying to get money. You know,
yeah,
my whole coaching, everything I've done, all my online stuff has never been about money. I don't even check my bank account. I've got clients of mine, there's about 40, 50 of my clients I coach for free. Okay, they're people who are struggling. They'll work with me and they're like, oh man, I can't afford this, interest, blah, blah. I'm like, sweet, I'll keep coaching you for free, keep checking in with me. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, because I'm helping change lives. It's not like, oh, now you don't want me, I don't know. I leave them access to the app so they can still train. They check in with me still every day. Just check in with them once a week, even to say, hey, how's everything going? Like, I don't adjust their meal plans or anything like that, but I still am there for them,
Yeah.
because you build that connection with them and having someone in your corner that does believe in you. You've got to realize most of these people that want change, they haven't got someone to believe in them. They haven't got someone who's pushing them to be better. Then when some people that don't have that, they will not push themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Even it doesn't sound like you were a bad kid by nature. Like you had a good family, good upbringing. You just done it to get a status, to
yeah,
get
yeah.
friends. You know what I mean? Like you're just like,
Yeah,
fuck, if I go and do a bad thing, then the fucking people like it. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
I come from a great family, but I wouldn't say I wasn't a bad kid because I got
all
up to
right.
lots of fucking shit. Yeah, yeah. But I was never like, I never, I got in a lot of fights. So I can't say I never hurt anyone, but I was a little criminal. So I was a pretty bad kid. I was a
Yeah.
pretty bad kid, but I wasn't like a naughty kid when I was younger. And like, I had a good upbringing. I had a good upbringing, but I was just alone. And I just wanted to make friends. And the way I made friends was crime, drugs, fighting, violence. That's how I made friends.
Well, brother, mate, it's what a fucking turnaround. It's inspiring. I love what you're doing.
Thanks, bro.
Mate, what's happening? What's the plans for the future? Have you like
Bro,
thought?
everyone asks me this. Everyone's like, what's your goal for 2024? What do you want to achieve this year? To be honest, bro, I want to achieve the exact same thing I achieved last year.
Yeah,
Honestly, I'm very content. I'm changing lives every day. I don't need to set a goal. Like I'll keep doing exactly what I'm doing. My New Year's resolution was to be the exact same as I was last year. The only people, if people need to set a New Year's resolution, it's because they're a piece of shit the whole year before. Okay,
yeah,
if you're doing the right thing all year, if you're feeling amazing every day, why do you need to change?
fair.
You know what I mean? I think the whole New Year's resolution is bullshit. Setting a goal for 2024, I think it's a joke. It's just for people that aren't getting anywhere, that didn't achieve what they wanted to last year, so they try to set it as a goal. Just fucking do it.
Nothing changes. Were you working New Year's Day?
My goal is the exact same. Yeah, I worked every day. So this was a big thing for me. So New Year's Eve, obviously, everyone gets fucked up. Okay, New Year's Eve, it's the culture we live in, is to celebrate every event by getting fucked up. So all the people I coach are drug addicts, alcoholics, people addicted to food. That's the people I mentor and coach. Literally about 95% of them message me on New Year's Day saying this is their first sober New Year's in about 20 years, 5 years, 10 years, saying, man, thanks so much. It's the first New Year's. I'm taking my kids to the beach. You know, like I'm not scared. Like, fucking drop the mic, bro. You know what I mean? And for me to be able to change people that are coming from a life of addiction and then being able to get through New Year's, Christmas, everything like that, being sober and happy, what I'm doing is working, cunt. You know what I mean? Sick. So that was a massive moment, getting so many messages from people. Well, because last year I was doing the online stuff as well, but this year's really when it's real. The year before, sorry, I went through New Year's, but I had about a couple, like 100 clients, didn't have that many. Now I've got so many, but now it's like blowing up. And this is when I got the big, it's like this year I got a lot of messages on New Year's Day being like, I owe you my whole year. Thanks so much. Like,
I got goosebumps,
bro.
Fuck.
Yeah, but I did too, bro. I was like, fuck, because I went out of my way because most people will need to step back or I need a holiday, I need a break. I love what I do. I love connecting with people. I love helping people like this. So I'd message everyone on Christmas Day, like, hey, Merry Christmas, have a good day. I'll message them on Boxing Day, go out of my way to send them a voice note. I'm like, look, if you ate like shit on Christmas, you had a few drinks, let's just get back on track. Because as I said, people fall off track and they dig themselves deeper and deeper. And in holiday season, most people just fucking bender for like 10 days.
Yeah.
You know, so I was there like New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. I'd message them like, hey, just making sure everything's all good. Just keep on track. And everyone's still messaging me. And yeah, just being there for people really, their life and their kids, their families. I get messages from people's missus being like, you've saved my husband. Like, he's a better father now. It's like, it's fucking hectic, bro. Crazy.
Mate, good on you. Fuck, it's amazing. Love it. But mate, went on for a bit. It's sorry.
Yeah, I fucking start chatting, bro. Don't shut up, hey. What's the time? Yeah,
mate,
I don't even know.
I fucking loved it. Yeah, I found that
good.
interesting. But mate, I know you're a busy man. I do appreciate your time.
Easy, bro. Easy as. Hopefully it helps a few people.
Mate, I think it will. And maybe, what's your Instagram? Where can people find you if they want to reach out to you?
DRC Fit. DRC Fit. So Darcy, it's not Dr. C, fuck you. Okay? Darcy. Darcy Fit.
Darcy Fit. At Darcy Fit on Instagram. Mate, go give him a follow and fuck it. It's brilliant. Watch the cold shower coffee.
Yeah, I'll get you.
Just to confirm, does the coffee do anything for your skin?
There is zero benefits at all. Do not fucking try. I've literally got to repaint my whole ceiling. The Gyprock's fucked.
Oh, fuck.
It's like soft. I pressed it because I get the coffee everywhere and then I wash it down with a fucking shower hose and then I wipe it. And I didn't, over time, like I could press in the Gyprock and it's soft.
Mate, so I actually wondered how you cleaned that.
I fucked it. So I've got to get, like, hopefully Bloody Corporate doesn't hear this, but I've got to get fucking my dad to come down and just like paint it with like a thick gloss paint so it doesn't stick to it. So it just drips off. So I've got to make some adjustments. So, but fuck it. I'll pay for a new ceiling. I don't give a fuck.
Get the message out there.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Mate, again, thanks for your time and fuck, have a great day. All right, brother.
Easy. I'll talk to you. Okay. See you, bro. See ya.
Bye-bye.